Everybody has a story of how things became what it is.
And all of the stories that we're experiencing up to date are all based on the original mythological story.
Myths are ways of codifying profound truth.
And so in order to pass on the knowledge of these things, our ancestors began to put them in the form of stories.
Because myth becomes a way of speaking to that.
And it's all considered to be mythology because it is based on a belief.
And then we create rituals that reinforces the logic and the knowledge of the myth.
The story then goes into a ceremony that is constantly going to remind people.
That's where the rituals come in, where we begin to practice this, what they call Assyrian drama.
This story, this African story of an African trinity, is over 6,000 years old.
There's several different pieces of that story that are in direct correlation to the story of Jesus.
Scholars know this. Why do they allow people keep thinking it's a religion unless they have an untoward agenda? And it's very clear that they've created a lot of confusion.
Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones.
They dwell in the clefts of the rocks. Even right now, they're building cities in the mountains thinking they're going to escape the judgment of God. They the mountain people whose habitation is where high. He says in his heart, who going to bring me down? Now, remember, Europe was not white. Europe was started black. It's proven. The Moors was there first. You can prove it. Let's go look it up. Europe was black. But when Esau, which was up in the mountains, came down out of the mountains, I told y'all, if you look at the beginning of Gladiator, when Gladiator was fighting those barbarians, that's who they are, the Goths, the Visigoths, that's their people. Walking around with them big old bird skins on, and that's them. They lived up in the mountains, very unsanitary. They came down from those mountains and started conquering all the civilized world, which was black at that time. And I'll tell y'all how they got white. That's a whole nother teacher. But they came there and started conquering Europe. And then when they conquer Europe, of course, anytime you get conquered, you erase all the history of the previous people and only write your history. And even if they got heroes, you change them to your people. If they got any good things, inventions, you take them and say you did it. So that's what Esau did. And so that's how Europe became white. It was not white at first. And we know now through DNA evidence that those the original people of Europe was not white people. They don't want to tell y'all that. But they told you that European man, where Neanderthal man was a European, that's where he was found at, up in one of them caves. Because, you know, they was writing little horses on the wall. And in Egypt, they doing all kinds of, they doing all kinds of stuff in Egypt and down in South America, just writing, but they just writing horses on the wall. Because they are new people. I'll get there. Come on, guy, I gotta teach you. So now, remember, now I'm gonna show you, when Esau came out of Rebekah, there was a dilemma because they did not describe Jacob because Jacob looked like his people. But Esau was like, whoa, what's this? He said he was red, he was hairy and red like a hairy garment, which means he was covered with hair, red hair. That was who he was. Now, remember I told you about the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha are other books of the Bible scribes to them that was taken out. That's why they took them out. The Roman Catholic Bible just happened to leave them in They didn't care if they left them in because they wrote the Bible in Latin where they people couldn't read it anyway. So they didn't care. But the Protestants was the one that took the book these out of the Protestant Bible. The Protestants did it. I wonder why they did that. Because they said it didn't have any inspired writing. So we took them out. But you know, Esther, the book of Esther is actually longer. They cut the book of, why do they take the end of the book of Esther out? Then you start reading the book, you realize, oh, because it's describing Agite, Haman. Oh, Haman was an Amalekite. An Amalekite is a descendant of the wife of Esau, but she was a Horite. And we know Horites had fallen angel blood. So let's take it out. See, that's why they did stuff like that. Why? So you wouldn't know that who they are in their bloodline. I told you they mixed with the fallen angel seed.
Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Semjazer taught enchantments and root cuttings, Amaros the resolving of enchantments. Barakijal taught astrology, Kokabel the constellations, Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds, Arachiel the signs of the earth, Shamsiel the signs of the sun, and Sariel the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said one to another, The earth, made without inhabitant, cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, Bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, the throne of thy glory standeth unto all the generations of the ages, and thy name holy and glorious and blessed unto all ages. Thou hast made all things, and power over all things hast thou, and all things are naked and open in thy sight, and thou seest all things, and nothing can hide itself from thee. Thou seest what Azazel hath done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn, and Semjazer, to whom thou hast given authority to bear rule over his associates. And they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying, and make their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended, and cannot cease, because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And thou knowest all things before they come to pass, and thou seest these things, and thou dost suffer them, and thou dost not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. Chapter 10. Then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One spake, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah, and tell him in my name, Hide thyself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Douay-Rheims, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel said the Lord, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, and the children of the watchers from amongst men, and cause them to go forth, and send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For length of days they shall not have. And no request that they, their fathers, make of thee shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, Go, bind Semjaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. And in those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children. And all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. And then shall the whole earth be tilled in righteousness, and shall all be planted with trees, and be full of blessing. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it. And the vine which they plant thereon shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure of it shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. And cleanse thou the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and all the uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth. Destroy from off the earth. And all the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me, and all shall worship me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment. And I will never again send them upon it, from generation to generation, and forever. Chapter 11.
storm is already here.
My soul to keep.
Who or what do you believe in?
Protesters take to the streets.
This is why I stand up. Because somebody has to.
You were created to do good things.
I was right. She's here. Pray.